Last Minute Man, and you read the title correctly. I have found a graveyard on my property. Now, I didn't just find this when I purchased this property 3 years ago. This grave site was here, and my father and I came in the first summer I was here, and we cleaned it out. And I was really actually trying to be a little too safe, I think, and I cut a lot of this stuff high, and it just grew right back up. It's been about 3 years, so we're gonna go through today and do a better job really cleaning this up. These graves are from 1902, and this was a family that died from influenza, as far as I can tell from public record. So we're gonna go through and respect this grave site and restore it to the best of our ability. All right, and this is after I've cleared this out now. You can see the remnants of the old fence. Okay, and my father and I got all the big stuff out. You can see that pile over there. That's actually what we just took out of the gravesite here. Now I'm going to finish up by taking some sawdust that's in those bags and putting it down as ground cover here to keep weeds from coming up. But all right, I'll be right back with you, and we'll talk a little more about the folks that are buried here. All right, now we're back here, and as you can see, we've laid down our ground cover, and we're using sawdust here. It's something I have an abundance of. I happen to have a sawmill, and anytime I do a project, I end up with a lot of it. So that's what we're laying down, my father and I. And next, we're going to be working on this fence, and I'm going to do that out of cedar, I believe, because I think it'll look pretty, and cedar seems to hold up pretty well. So to tell you a little bit about these people, it's a fairly tragic story. Sometime around the turn of the century, one of these gravestones says 1904, the other one 1902. This entire family died of influenza. And the story I was told by a neighbor friend of mine, he's an elderly man, and when he was a child, he remembers the old timers, he called them, knew this family. And what had happened was the grandmother, his wife, and his child all died of influenza. And then a year or so later, he died, and he was 31 years old. So it's a pretty tragic story, and I believe it's so important that we remember these things and we look to our past to appreciate our future. And when you hear tragic tales like this, you have to appreciate what we do have, and understand to keep the people you love close, because you never know what's going to happen. But it's important to do this, and I can't say that enough. Someone has got to preserve these graveyards like this. If you've got one on your property, make sure that you maintain it and preserve it. You'll feel great when you do it. It's like I said, it's just important. And when we first purchased this property, I had the surveyor, because this was not in the original deed of the property, we had him add this gravesite in there. I wanted to make sure if in the future a road comes through or something, they can't just wipe this out. And you know, over time people forget, and when I first discovered this, no one within close proximity to me knew what I was talking about. And after getting to know my other neighbor, who's he's almost 80 some odd years old now, he kind of filled me in on what was going on with these people. But I just wanted to show this to you and remind you to keep your knives sharp and your powder dry. Last Minute Man.